Hi and welcome back everyone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to cover a very important exercise. Once you're confident with your sit to stands and you've built up a good ability to perform them consecutively, 10 repetitions, 15, things like that, you feel good, and sets of them, 2 sets of 10, 3 sets of 10, things like that. I want you to start working on your squats. You can add these in as anytime you like. So if you're still building up your sit to stands and you want to try squats, it's fine. I'm going to show you different variations. However, this is really important for your quality of life. Being able to do these, getting up out of your seat, getting up from any position, squatting down to pick things up the ground. You can imagine how many times you use this. My name is Nicholas Korelin. I'm an exercise sports scientist. I absolutely love helping people. And let's just get into the episode. So I've got a chair here just to show you that we can build up our confidence by using an external support, whether it's a chair, a walking aid, something like that. However, we want to gradually be able to rely on our own capacity, our own physiology to do these daily tasks. So let's get into it. Always start with a checklist, just like in our sit to stands, making sure that your feet are shoulder width apart. Okay, so making sure we have a good stable foundation, so when we apply force to the ground, that we're coming straight up. When we're pushing away from the ground, our body's going to come straight up, and we're not focusing on balance. We're focusing on just strength, power, and that force coming through the body, up through the ground, pushing away. So number one, good stable stance. Just widen the shoulder width. There are so many variations of squats. Sumo squats, hack squats, Cossack squats, single leg pistol. So they're all different things that you can build up to. This is just getting that foundation. So shoulder width apart, toes slightly pointing out. And we want to make sure when we're doing these squats that the joints all perform in a good alignment. So when we're coming down, we're not getting this bowing of the knee out or in. That's really important. So we're relying on these large lower body muscles, glutes, quads, hamstrings, and everything else that's involved. So when performing these, if you're just building up that confidence, use a chair. So let me show you from the side, just going through that checklist. Feet shoulder width apart, toes slightly pointed out, head and chest up. Pull that belly button in, so slightly pulling it in will help activate that core, will help with that stability, or that stability through your body. So if we were to have things loose, then the joints aren't pulled into alignment, and the bones aren't really pulled into alignment. That's when we can have malalignment and things like that happen. So let's stay up nice and tall. Keep the belly button tight. You can have your hands on your chair, and from here, making sure we're sitting slightly back and the knees don't come too far forward. Breathing in on the way down, breathing out on the way up. Breathing in on the way down, breathing out on the way up. So a few things I want to avoid is having the head down and just coming down like this, and having really bad rounded posture. Keep everything nice and confident, nice and tall, shoulders slightly pulled back. So remember, make your own little checklist, and remember these. You're building up a motor pattern for the brain to remember, I'm going into a squat, let's fire everything correctly. I don't want to go too deep in your physiology, but we get signals from the brain, switching everything on and making sure that we're doing the best possible performance so that you can have a nice easy movement pattern, things like that. So remember, hands here, and make sure the knees don't travel too far. We want to avoid any knee pain. And there's general thought that when we're coming down into a squat, that we're not doing parallel. We're slightly above parallel, we're slightly below and coming straight back up. The thought is that this bone here, when you're coming down, it's kind of has the ability to slide and translate into the movement so that you'll shift forward and all the ligaments around that knee are placed under extra strain like a shearing force. When it comes a bit lower, then I don't want to go too deep into it, or a bit higher, we're avoiding that shearing force. So from here, making sure the knees, deeping breath in, breath out. Now the depth is really important too. If you're building up your confidence, you don't have to go, they call this bottom to grass. You don't have to go that deep, but this is actually a really an important ability to be able to squat, to be able to sit down like this. Many times we're in the garden or we're picking something off the ground. That ability is quite important. It's coming back up. Back is nice and straight. Really deep breaths. The blood pressure goes through the roof whenever we're performing these larger exercises, and the body requires a lot of oxygen, a lot of glucose to get those muscles to work. So here we go, one more time, deep breath. Prepare yourself, deep breath in. Control the movement. I'm just going to show you a couple of repetitions. And you can repeat these. I'm going to show you from the front. Just say you don't really want to use the support anymore and you're really confident with yourself, then we just start, hands on your thighs, side, something like that, something comfortable, but it's all about you. Checklist. Notice my knees, they're not buckling in, they're not buckling out, they're nice and strong, feel confident in the movement. And you'll feel the pain or the strain in the quadricep. Perfect, that burning sensation. I don't want to go too deep into it, but it's actually a good thing, okay? So let's go into it, let's take another deep breath. Now, if you notice, I didn't rush. So when we do slow things down, we are focusing on strength. Strengthening the muscles, requiring them to stabilize and to move your body through the movement with a quality rather than quantity. You can do all this type of stuff, but there's not much benefit long term. Yeah, you're getting repetitions out, but the adaptation is not happening into the muscle. There is power involved when you're using speed, but this session I'm building strength, okay? So I want you to feel confident when doing these. I want you to start enjoying these. A lot of people are like, oh, I've got to do squats, oh my God. Because they hurt or you're not doing it properly. You're doing too many of them. It's about building your capacity. So leave a little bit left in the tank. It's a 70% rule. I want to make another video about this, but go to about your 70% and then you feel like you can do a bit more, just stop. Have a rest, stretch the body, do something else, come back and try again. You can rest for a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour, whatever is up to you and your lifestyle, your capacity and your ability. So I really wanted to take some checklists, so make sure your feet, the knees don't collapse, the abdominals are drawn in, you're preparing your body, you're timing your breath, breathing in, breathing out. That takes a bit to get used to. You're not collapsing, not rounding. and that should get you really onto the good foundation. And then when you're confident with those, you can do sets of 5, 10, 15, 20, and then you can have your rest and do multiple sets of 3, 4, 5, things like that. You're going to be super strong to do a lot of things you want, and you're going to have an amazing quality of life. And then you can go and do all these other sumo and lunges and all these other exercises. But this is your number one bread and butter, you know, using some type of foundational support. So practice these every day, you know, don't rush these. And then you can start changing the tempo, you know, like slow down faster, and then things like that. You can do these other things, but for now, keep it super simple, okay? Focus on building your capacity. Don't compare yourself to others, compare yourself to yourself. Always, there's always gonna be people that are better than you, faster than you, stronger than you. Don't worry about that. You compare yourself to yourself, always. I hope you really enjoyed the content. Let me know, like, share, subscribe, tell everyone about this channel. I'm really relying on a community. And let me know if you want me to cover anything or if you'd like me to discuss the topic more further. Thank you very much for your support, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.